Wittenberg Project. Something that really annoys me, to be honest with you, is this thing people do where they put religion against things, where they say religion is this, but Jesus is this. Or religion is this. It's always negative, but the gospel is this. I literally, that is like one of the biggest pet peeves in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to dinner and like someone's sitting there just smacking in front of you, like food flying, spit flying. It's like, yo, keep your food in your mouth. I don't need to see your digestive system. I don't need to see you working through getting the proteins out, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, but here's why it annoys me though. It annoys me more so because the people saying it really think that like they have no influences. Like, I just follow the Bible. I don't follow these man-made doctrines or things that are created by man. Just the Bible. That's what they feel about themselves. As if the other person, because they admit their tradition. Like, just putting a label on your belief doesn't mean you're not following the Bible. If anything, it just categorizes how you view certain passages and certain things. But they just follow the Bible, you know? And it's as if, you know, that guy on Sunday you see up there, you know what I'm saying, who everybody's listening to, he learned under somebody. And that person learned under somebody. And the way they view the Bible is, you know, the classic doctrinal stances of infallible, this and that. But a lot of your beliefs are shaped and guided by what you were taught. And that's just the way it is. It's the truth of the matter. So you denying that, you know, I have no influences. They won't word it that way. They'll word it as, I just follow the Bible. Religion is what you're doing. And then the definition of religion isn't even that. It's just a belief in a higher being, a belief in a creator. You know, and if you believe that, you're part of a religion. Period. Like, there are certain tenets to Christianity, the religion, that make it Christianity compared to other false denominations and false religions and things of that nature. It's still a religion. It's this whole little notion is really just a ploy to be able to do whatever you want. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest with you. So, back in the day, Arians, they followed Arius pretty much, right? If you look at his argument, a lot of it was based on scripture. A lot of it. I mean, one honestly could make a case and say that, he follows sola scriptura. Now, disclaimer, he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the church, as orthodox standards and doctrine, we follow the results of that. We follow the Council of Nicaea. We follow the distinction that the church made, like, no, that is wrong, that is this, that is this. Just because you adhere to the results of the Council of Nicaea or one of the councils or something, it doesn't mean that, you know, you're not following the Bible. I mean, it's I hate to say this, but I won't say that, you know what I'm saying, because people get offended real easy nowadays, 2020, you know. Now, I'm going to say it. It's idiotic, yo. It's idiotic. We all have influences. We all have mentors. We all have people in the faith that we look up to and that we learn from in regards to our walk and our interpretation of things of that nature. Truth. I mean, a perfect example is, and I want to turn this into some baptism debate, you know what I'm saying? Don't mind though. But when you ask somebody, most of the people who hold this view, when you ask them, what's baptism? They'll say things like first act of obedience. The things that public profession of faith, right? And it's like, but the Bible doesn't say that. So literally 85 seconds ago, you were saying, religion is that. I just follow the Bible. That's not what you just said. Like, you learned that somewhere. You learned your view of first act of obedience somewhere. Because, truth be told, that quote, that phrase, isn't in the Bible. It wasn't taught by the church for 1,000+ years. So just that notion right there is an influence of somebody that taught you that influenced you, and you felt it was true. You felt that, yeah, this is based on the Bible. I can see why that's the correct way. Don't get me wrong, I feel that's wrong. Don't think it's the first act of obedience. But it kind of disproves your whole point. But they don't see it that way. And let's be honest, people who use this phrase, typically, like the reason this came up because Tim Keller, I posted the quote earlier, he made a statement. He does this every now and then, you know what I'm saying? I actually like Timmy. I actually like Pastor Keller, you know what I'm saying? He's a cool dude, from my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the cool, hip thing to do, you know? It's a cool, hip thing to do, you know? And they're very smart. Like, he's very smart. But he has to realize that it's just, this anti-religion stance is really just a ploy of people wanting to have their own standards and their own non-historical basis for what they believe. They'll read the Bible and come up with something that the church has never thought of, never held a day and age, you know, ever. Like, the sinner's prayer, right? You won't find that nowhere in the Bible. You won't find no one saying, you want to be saved? Say this prayer. Yes. You won't. But, and listen, I could go into if I think it's wrong or right and things of that nature, but that's not really my point. My point more so is you were taught that. You were 100% taught that, but you want to sit here and act as if you develop your belief solely based on nothing but your own intellect in the Bible. You have no influence, and religion is the one who comes with these doctrines and teaches you things and says that, that's sin. God says that's sin, so we shouldn't do that. Oh, okay. You didn't come up with that yourself. You didn't read the Bible. He said that, and you took it at face value. And then, you, as a good Berean, you should go back to the text and verify it. But technically, you learned that from him. Like I said, the whole notion of the Sabbath or day of rest or church and worship being on Sunday is biblical. It's biblical, right? Most people don't even know why we call it biblical. They just follow the tradition that they were learned that this is the day that we go to church. This is the day that we worship. They don't tie it back to, this is our day of rest. This is the day that Jesus rose from the dead. So we acknowledge this is the day that we worship. You know? Now the Bible does say you can hold any day in high reverence that you want to, in a sense. But that's not my point. My point is this regular fide, the stance you have is taught and learned. So we need to get past this notion of, oh, religion is bad, but XYZ is good. No, religion is not bad. Religion is just saying that I believe in a higher being. I believe in the Creator. Period. I'll put the definition up. You know what I'm saying? People that create their own definitions nowadays too. Like, words don't have meanings. Religion, like I said, man, you'll mention something that you read from, let's say, I'm Lutheran, you know what I'm saying? But you'll read from someone like John Christensen, an OG, you know what I'm saying? You might not know who he is. But let's say I read something from him or a church father. And I'm like, this passage has historically been viewed this way. And, you know, that's how I hold you to. Chapter, verse. It's like, okay, sometimes a lot of teachings are based on the sum of Scripture, the totality of it, and then they come up with a doctrine where you can't find just a quick little 16-worded verse to hold it. I mean, for instance, the Trinity. You won't find a little neat package definition in there, but it's all over the Bible. It's all over the Bible. Anyhow, man, Wittenberg Project. Most people who say it, listen, man, they're basically just these tree huggers that don't want they don't like authority. The only authority they have is they self. And then they say God also. It's pretty much they self. And that's what the real issue is. They figure religion is somebody who's in charge, or somebody who has authority, and they want to push back. It's like so Americanism, so individualistic. Listen, God, in the Bible, Paul did put Timothy over churches. We did have people who were the leaders in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Who guided the church, who God used through the office to convey the gospel and teach. To teach. It wasn't everybody just no authority, pure anarchy. Everybody does what they want to do. That wasn't how it was. So this whole religion versus X is just a false dichotomy. It's just a false dichotomy. It's just something that people who don't want anybody to have a say or comment on anything they do or believe, that's what it is.